Good evening. My name is Al Alvarez, and this evening we're going to take you behind the scenes. Behind the Scenes is an episodic show. It's a video podcast right here at talkwad.com. And if you're interested in hosting your own show, just go to gary.talkwad.com and send him a message, and he'll get the information over to you and invite you down to the studio. What we do here at Behind the Scenes is we discuss independent film and music related to independent film. I usually have a panel of some pretty great guests, and our guest this afternoon, this evening, is no exception. First, I'd like to talk about myself extensively. No, I'm just kidding. You can laugh at my dumb jokes if you want, okay, guys? All right, real good. I'd like to introduce our panel this afternoon. First of all, we have Mr. Ron Borders. Ron Borders, amongst other things, is a fantastic writer. Miss Tammy Peralta. And Tammy has extensive background in the cable industry, and we're going to be talking about that, and also post-production and business. We have Mr. Mike Marin. Okay, Mike is an actor. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
There you go. I never saw that coming.
Oh.
But Mike is an actor, and he's got his fingers in a lot of various things right now, so we're going to be talking about that as well. I'd like to mention a couple of things, and talking about the film industry, there's something very important happening on the 25th and the 26th. It's called Rally and Tally, and it's going to be in Tallahassee. Guess what? Rally and Tally. And it's very important. It's the only time of year that we get a chance to walk the halls with the state legislatures and actually talk to them about the tax incentives that we need on the books. We need monies in order to attract not only the big studios to bring their films here, like Magic Mike and Dolphin Tale and Spring Break, but also for our local film industry, for the experienced filmmakers here in the Tampa Bay and the Florida area, so that they have funds also to help create their visions as well. Okay, so that's the 25th and the 26th. If you need any other information, which I'm sure you do, just go to filmflorida.com. That's right, you heard it here, filmflorida.com. Right, Tammy?
That's it.
That's it.
I'm going.
You'll be there?
Yes, I will.
All right, this beautiful woman will be here. I'll tell you guys. No, I'm just kidding. She's spoken for us. She's got a very nice man in her life. So do I. Are you single?
Yep.
Hey,
Yes,
Mike Moran, right here. He's an actor, though. You got to watch those actors, okay? You can't tell when they're telling the truth. Mm-hmm. Now, Ron's a writer. And Ron, I know that you have an extensive background in the film industry in general. Can you speak about that? Then we'll go into your writing thing.
Sure. Let's see. I got started actually one of those kids who did things like at 12 and 13, making movies in the backyard.
Right.
Went on to high school, got television installed in high school by getting everyone to sign a petition. Did a commercial inside the high school that went national at the age of 17. Then it took me a little while to find myself. At 23, I ended up at Valencia. I went to film school in Orlando. After working at Universal and Nickelodeon, came back to Tampa, worked for Warner Brothers, put myself through school working on semis at night and going to school during the daytime
Wow.
at International Academy of Design and Technology for 3D animation and other various digital skills. When I finished that, I just recently finished my master's degree at Wilkes University in Pennsylvania.
That's fantastic. What a background. So basically, you understand the film industry, and you could basically put together an independent film.
I live and breathe it, brother.
All right, there you go. That's what we like to hear. And, for you folks at home, not only for other independent filmmakers, actors, or what have you, we talk about, we're going to have guests that represent everything from the writer to the actor to the editor, professional in business, all the way down to the gaffers, the grips, and those people who help us get distribution for our films. So please continue to tune in. It's going to be a learning experience for all of us, including myself. So that's really important. So writing, have you done a lot of writing as far as films or?
Not really for films. I mean, the majority of my writing is short form, so it's either for corporate videos,
Mm-hmm.
industrial videos, and then, of course, commercials. I write hundreds of commercials, 30-second, 60-second commercials. And
Right.
so I've definitely would say I've mastered writing commercials and, telling about a company in 80 words, essentially. And that's about a 30-second commercial is 80 words. And so, you know, it does take some talent to, you know, tell about a company
Sure.
in 80 words.
Yeah, I know you see a 30-second commercial on television, and basically you have that 30 seconds to paint a picture, you know, to tell them who you are. I was in real estate for about 12 years right here in Tampa Bay. As I got involved in other projects, that's how I made a living. And I started out with a company that was a real estate advertising company. So as we sold these ads, we would have to write our description, you know, so that the reader who might be shopping for that particular home, and you know, I'm not sure how many words we had, but we had to paint that picture. You know, I mean, I've never done that for commercials, nor had my work as scrutinized, you know, because everyone sees it, especially your client. You know, they're paying you, and you've got to paint that picture for them. So that's fantastic. Now, how did you actually? I know that you have a background in cable. I've heard some information about it, but now that we have you here, let's talk about that so we get the information correct.
Okay. Well, I actually started in the business at 17. I, you know, wanted to be a sportscaster, and so I reached out to Gail Sirens from Channel 8. That she kind of became my mentor, and I wanted to learn about, you know, sportscasting because she had done that before she became the anchor. That turned into an internship program. I did not get the internship at Channel 8. I ended up at Jones Intercable, which is now Bright House, and was able to work on the groundbreaking show, the Q Zoo Tube, which back in the late 80s to early 90s, Q105 had their morning zoo program live on TV from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So I, at 17, was jumped into working graphics on the show, and then eventually was promoted to the producer director at 19. And that was just amazing experience of getting to do 4 hours of live TV every day. And when Q105 went country, we had a whole, you know, TV station basically, and I was put in charge of that station in my early 20s and created, you know, the high school game of the week, and basically created what's now Bright House Sports Network. And we did other shows. We did real estate shows. We did financial, and this was before the internet. You know, the internet was in its, you know, you had the dial-up modems. Everyone was not really sure what it was. No one, you know, not everyone had it in their home or on their, you know, their phone.
Sure.
And so, so infomercials were the way to really market your product, and that's what we did. So our network was a great way for people to come and do a 30-minute show like we're doing here, and market their product. And so I was able to make it a profit for the you know, for the cable network. And then, so working in the cable industry, we also did the 30-second commercials for Time Warner, and that's where I kind of started getting my experience of doing 30-second commercials.
So then I would imagine that you wanted to really make money, so you went out on your own.
Well, after I did go to the government television for 8 years, so I worked for Hillsborough County government and did. I was station manager for Hillsborough Television, and with the budget cuts in 08 and 09, I essentially, as manager, I eliminated my own position, knowing that we had to cut a ton of money, and I made that my decision of, okay, I'm going to go out on my own.
Sure, time to move.
And so I've been doing that since 09.
Well, you know, from what I've seen of what you do, the work is fantastic. It couldn't be more professional, and you're just a real nice person.
Thanks.
From what I've gotten to know so far. Now, we're go down the line here, and everyone knows me. So, Mike Marin from St. Petersburg, right?
Yes. Well, now I live in Orlando. But
Right.
I was raised in St. Petersburg.
Great. So you went to school there. You went to high school there.
Yep.
And,
I went to Gibbs High School for the Pinellas County Center for the Arts there in
great.
performance theater.
okay. And then how did you get into are you a filmmaker? Did you just start acting in school? What was your trail?
My trail started with acting when I was 11, and then when I was 13, got into TV production in middle school. Then that's when I realized I really loved film work because there's so much more dynamics behind film work than performing on a stage. And there's quite a difference too. You learn too with everything having to be big on a stage, and then with the camera you can just do the slightest little movement, or emotion with your face. And since I was 13, I've acquired a handheld camcorder and try to make my own movies in my backyard as well. Try to get my friends in on it to make movies. And by the time I reached high school, I realized I want to be a film actor. But along those lines too, I got into basically making my own films as a hobby too. So there was my senior year in high school where we went through the film era basically. And so we had to film our monologues and our scenes, and everyone's coming to me for help. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I love doing it, And
did you get into much theater at all, or strictly film?
Theater was most of my experience through high school. Towards the and among that too, like outside of school, I did my studies on how to make a film with lighting and everything. And then senior year, I was able to get into it more when I had to take a script basically, and then direct, star in it, film it, edit a film for my senior project.
Okay, great. Well, now I want to ask you a question. What was your first real gig that you felt, was even if you didn't get paid for it? I mean, like acting in an independent film, you went through the audition process, you were chosen for a part, or was it going through an agency and getting sent for a commercial and maybe, closing on that?
With an agency, I actually just joined an agency recently and actually went to my first audition for a commercial about a month or 2 months ago. But I would say my first real experience, as far as being on a set, was doing background work in a film in Louisiana.
Okay.
And film business is booming over there in Louisiana too.
Yeah.
So that, like, being on set, seeing how much goes behind behind the camera with lighting, with the staff, and with all the actors and the background actors too. It's a huge process. And even with independent films, it's the same thing too. It's difficult for one person to do everything, which I did recently last year for the Action Film Challenge, where I had to write a script, shoot a film, be in the film, direct it, and then edit it, and lose sleep and weight over it, basically, to make this film come together. And it was a lot of fun to do. It was stressful, but it was fun in the long run. And that's what counts.
Again, a learning process.
Exactly.
Right? When you're wearing various hats, and you're actually performing those tasks on a set. I mean, that and a lot of that comes with being on other sets and paying attention to what's going on. So, even, and I'm not diminishing this at all, but I'm an actor also. But even just even being an actor, wearing that hat. I mean, it's so important to pay attention to what's going on around you.
Absolutely.
Because if you're not comfortable with that, the powers that be are going to notice, and they may not ask you back.
Exactly.
There's a code of behavior on a set. There really does.
There is.
So because things need to click, like they say, time is money.
Exactly.
And it absolutely
Time is money.
is. Good, great. Well, it's nice having you here, all of you. Okay.
Thank you.
Now I know that you both brought clips. Okay. What I'd like to start out with is we were just talking about your Action Film Challenge.
Yes.
Okay. Can we start out with that? You want to give us a little bit about that?
No, maybe not.
Are we not in line for that?
It's loading.
Okay. Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. I'm.
All right.
Yeah. I didn't give Chris the cue. Chris Wild's back there. He's running the show for us. So here we go. Is it 48 hour?
It was a 30-day challenge.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
this is the trailer for it.
Mike Marin. So in the meantime, I'm going to tell you a joke. This guy walks into a bar.
And he says out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so he's got this pig under his arm.
Oh, right now, there's the 30-day zombie film challenge happening too.
Okay.
Might as well say that.
So is that just regional? Is it national?
It's international, from what I
Oh, really?
understand. Yeah. The Action Film Challenge last year, there was a contestant from the UK that entered, and there's a bunch of rewards that are given out for it. And the Zombie Film Challenge, it's a 30-day challenge, and it actually starts tomorrow. So it's 30 days to put together a film, write a script, shoot it, edit it, and submit it. And
Wow.
yeah.
I'll bet the special effects and the makeup artists, or those who are going to learn how to be makeup artists, it's going to be a pretty creative concept. I mean, just a program altogether.
Yeah.
You know, and the zombie films are really big right now. The vampires, the zombies. You know, they're making a lot of money. They're franchising, and they're really out there just rocking and rolling, man. So how we doing with that clip, Chris? Okay, that's all right. We're talking film here. Tell us about what you're doing, Ron.
Right now,
Right now.
I'm writing a comedy.
You are.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Blasted. It's basically about a failed rock musician who had come to the end of his line. What happens is, in the zeitgeist of what's going on in reality, there's a project that's coming up in 2 years called Mars One. It's a privately funded space mission to Mars. We're
Right.
going to send 4 people to Mars to live forever. They're never coming back. Don't know if they're even going to make it, but they did a selection, and I think they're within 1,600 people right now of choosing 4 people to go.
Wow.
Right?
Now, isn't that based on a true story?
Yeah.
Y'all
Well-
can interact with this too. Please do. Okay.
So what happens is basically his brother gets selected and it steals his spotlight, and he realizes, oh, what a failed bastard that I actually am. I need to patch things up before he goes off into outer space.
Sure.
So what is he going to do? He gives him like the one thing that he thinks is important, the last thing that you'll ever need if you go to colonize an entire another planet. He gives him seeds so they can start his own marijuana.
But don't tell us too much.
No, but you like it?
I like it.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. So if you folks out there and that are watching the show like it, also keep an eye out for Ron Borders, because he's got great things in his future. He's got such a varied background, and in his education, also his hands-on use of that education and God-given talent that we're really pulling from. He's one of the smartest guys I know. And
That's really kind. Thank you.
yeah, and by the way, we're both members of the Sunscreen Film Society that comes under the umbrella of the Sunscreen Film Festival with Tony Armour. And if you'd like to learn more about the Sunscreen Film Festival and Film Society, then please just go to Sunscreen, just Google Sunscreen Film Festival, or find it on Facebook. And there's a lot of interaction. You're welcome to come to our monthly meetings, and they'll be posted on Facebook as well. We kind of hopscotch them back and forth on each side of the bay, so everyone gets a chance to participate. But it's the best way in the world to network and to meet people in your local others with the same likes and wants, you know, of independent film, of scoring films, of editing films, of every aspect of film, and also music. So, and we're ready to go with Chris, and this is introduce it.
It's from the 30-Day Action Film Challenge of 2013 called Steel and Hope.
Here we go.
I really appreciate you accepting the offer.
And an operation of this type will be handled with the utmost professionalism and skill.
I expect nothing less.
I have a young war veteran who's perfect for the job. His name is Jack Steele.
Director, I'm having trouble finding the target. The only one I can see is the girl from the photo.
The target is the girl.
Why?
The target has a rare blood disease lethal enough to be turned into a biological weapon.
Complete this task.
Or I will extinguish your services with us!
No.
Jack, what the hell happened?
I need to get this girl to safety before I can deal with Skelmore.
Who can you trust outside the company?
Veronica.
Jack?
Do you have a plan?
I always have a plan.
One advantage of the amount of money that you spent with me and my company is that we can afford what is necessary to get the job done.
I never stopped loving you.
Jack.
And it really killed me to have to leave.
If you guys want the girl so bad, come and get her.
Heaven help us.
You amount to nothing. You're a follower. That's why I'm in charge. That's why I'm a leader.
That was so cool. That was a lot of fun to watch. It really was a lot of
Thank you.
action, but I thought it was very well edited.
Thank you.
So Steel and Hope.
Steel and Hope.
And you walked away with the Golden Globe, right?
No, unfortunately. Truth be told, like again, when you're doing everything, and 30 days seems like 30 seconds to get everything together when it comes to directing, producing it, writing it, starring in it, and just everything basically. Unfortunately, it was rushed towards the end, but all in all, everyone had fun, and that's, like I said, that's what counts, and that's all I'm going for. Not in it to win it, I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, eventually,
Eventually,
you
yes.
want to be in a winning team that is at least competitive.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't expect to be famous. I just don't. I don't expect to be a celebrity. But what I do enjoy doing are things like this. Networking and helping my fellows in the community who deserve it, man. And everyone here at this on this panel, I feel really deserves it. You had a question for him, didn't you?
Well, I was just that's a trailer that you actually cut for the full. And how long was the
film?
The film.
The film itself was 15 minutes long, which was the maximum length for the challenge. It was between, I believe, 7 to 15 minutes. But yeah, after the film was done, I wanted to make a trailer to support my film, come out to see it, and I'm always going for entertaining the audience, and I always expect honest feedback from it, and nothing less, basically. So.
Well, great, and I'm glad you said that, because from time to time, I'll be asked, what'd you think? And I think the easiest thing, and most people do this, oh, that was great, or yeah, I liked it, or they give
very automatic response.
Yeah, but I really think that it helps a filmmaker if you're a little more honest. You can be tactful. Overall, it was a pretty good project. I thought this was a little weak, or that.
Right.
And they may pay a little more attention to that in their next project.
Some of them.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, right?
That's what I'm not talking about.
I think it's the writers.
All right, yeah. So
I'm not changing my script. No.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I recently have been dabbling in writing a screenplay, and we showed some portions of the lessons, which was a short, it was 26 minutes. That had won a few awards, and I was lucky enough to work in that. I had a small part, and that's right.
I was the editor.
That's right. You edited it.
Yep.
And did you win a Crystal Reel Award for that? I know Mike got something for photography or lighting.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
But anyway, so I had a great time with that, and it deserved accolades, and we received accolades. And but one of the things that it really taught me was how to appreciate the people I was working with, their skills and their focus. When you're there on a project, I don't care if it's a small short film or if you're working on a feature motion picture. It's just you just have to have it together. So
they call that set etiquette.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's called set etiquette. It's how to behave when you're on a set.
Let me write that down. Set etiquette. So, Ron, let me ask you something. Why are you so awesome?
Bro, I can't tell you. I have to kill you. No, I'm just playing. That's funny. Actually, I'm really trying in the independent realm to launch a major career. My script that was my master's thesis was actually spec'd for $15 million to actually produce, to get up off the ground. And they don't let you just wield a $15 million budget. So I'm really going for it. And I think these are like really nice contacts to be in esteemed colleagues, really. Like you're moving to LA. And you're in the local area.
No, don't go.
I want your headshot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for real. I hope you brought one.
I think I won my car.
Yeah, one or two. Yeah,
I got it.
and see, and that's another thing. You know, when you're in the business, I always have business cards, right? You guys have business cards or some type of personal information. You know, it's a shame to come to something like this because we have 3 studios going right now. We've got 3 different shows going out at the same time. Okay, so and then not only are the shows going at the same time, but once the show is done, the studio puts them on YouTube. So they're there forever, and they're on the TalkWad site. So you can go to behind the scenes, season 1, and this is show 3. This is our 3rd show this season, and you can see it again. Yeah. And if there's something you missed or some information that you wanted to really hear about, except for that joke I tried to pull off about the pig, you can review the information. So thank you for telling us why you're so awesome. Why are you going to L.A.? What's going on here?
Just
business or love, or a little both.
Both. So both, but that's a little down the road, maybe.
Well, we sure hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, we want you to be happy and successful, and you're going to make that happen because that's the kind of person that you are. But at the same time, you.
It may be a two coast kind of thing. I'm going to keep my business here. I'm just going to open up an LA division.
So coast to coast,
right.
Tammy Peralta, coast to coast. I'm telling you. Well, Tammy, you were saying that you're doing a lot of commercials.
Yes.
And that you write commercials. And I know that we have a taste of some of the work that you've done in that genre.
Yep.
So what I'd like to do is, Chris is probably queuing that up right now, and we're going to show a group. How many are there?
I brought 4 30-second commercials.
So that should last like 15 minutes?
About 2 minutes. And I wasn't good in math, but I figured that out. But these are some of my favorite commercials that I've done, or maybe for some clients that people may recognize, and I'm fortunate to work with some wonderful clients. I literally can say I don't have a client that I dislike. I love all of them. So I just have the fortune of working in the Bay Area, and really most of Central Florida, have gone all over. And
isn't life great here in Florida?
It is.
I know, right?
It really is. And I am definitely doing a lot of networking and of course want to go to the rally in Tally to make sure that we encourage people to bring movies here and films, because I know it's tough with Georgia and Louisiana with their tax incentives. We have to be competitive because there are border,
North Carolina, and Texas, and
so it's definitely.
And one of the big reasons for going to Rally and Tally is to influence our legislative branch to allot more money for tax incentives, and that is what's going to, for instance, Disney Productions is not allowing their production teams, if you will, their scouts, to film anywhere where there are not tax incentives. And there is no money left in the coffers in Florida for tax incentives. And they make some great films. They make some great films, but and it's really a shame. But business is business. So this is the business of film, it is a business.
It is.
I mean, it's a lot of fun, and we get to do some things, amazing things, and go to some amazing places. But without the business that supports it, we're accountants.
Yeah.
No offense if you're an accountant. As a matter of fact, my beautiful wife Becky is. She specializes in accounting, and I'd just like to send her my love. Hi, Becky. She went to New York this last Sunday, and she was supposed to come back this evening. I usually pick her up about midnight, and she is stuck in New York until possibly Sunday or Monday. So I just want to let you know I miss you, babe, and I'll have the girls clean up before they leave. I don't know what to say. But anyway, so we're going to show the commercials that Tammy does. And please, if you're out there and you've got a business that you'd like to have a commercial made, please keep Tammy Peralta and Bean Productions.
Bean Productions.
Bean Productions in mind. And as you see these commercials, now where can they find, this is on YouTube?
I do have a YouTube channel,
Uh-huh.
and because unfortunately my website's being redone right now, but you just put in beanvideoproductions.com in the search box, and there's probably 300, so
Yeah.
you could knock yourself out.
Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and see that now.
I've had it. Yeah, we need an electrician.
And a hairstylist. Fine, fine. I'll call Small Jobs Electric.
Electric Man here.
My hero.
You're gonna need X-ray vision to figure this one out. Looks like you found the right guy for the job.
Small Jobs Electric. Service in a flash.
Tower Radiology. Every year we dedicate ourselves to being the best. Every year for 20 years. With our board-certified subspecialty radiologists, we can provide you with up to a 34% more accurate diagnosis of your illness or injury. Don't leave your body to chance. Tower has multiple locations to serve you. Same day, next day, evening or weekend. Accurate assurance, same-day service. That's Tower. Ask for us by name. Tower Radiology. Setting the standard in radiology.
If you're living with old, wasting your money.
Performance energy-saving windows at true factory direct prices.
Saving you thousands.
New South windows are made in Florida.
For Florida homes.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 New South windows, get the third absolutely free, including our exclusive lifetime warranty. New South Windows, we manufacture, we install, we guarantee, we make it easy. Call now.
In the heart of Wesley Chapel is a one-of-a-kind fitness haven, a place to transform your body and mind with personal one-on-one attention you can't get at a big box gym, a place to energize with fitness and dance with a Brazilian flair, a place to revitalize with yoga that gives you an individualized, disciplined experience, a place to relax where meditation and massage enhances your overall health and well-being, a place
The tail
Just
end,
the tail end of that one.
of the last clip, but that's showbiz. The show will go on, and so we're going to keep going on here. We're having a lot of fun doing this show, and if you'd like to host your own show, please just email or Google talkwad.com. They're very friendly here. They make it very easy to produce your own show. There are open houses here from time to time, and I'm sure that they're talked about on their Facebook page, or you can just make an appointment to come and see Gary or Alex, and they'll tell you all about it. And that's how I got involved. And like I said, we've got 3 studios going right now and 3 shows. And Mama J has a show going, or she had a show going earlier next door, and she has a show like twice a day, a morning show and an evening show, and she kind of mixes up her subjects. So that's pretty cool. It really is. So what's next for Mike Marin?
Well, this Saturday, there's a variety show at this lovely dinner theater called the Tampa Picture Show. Recently, cinemas have had to switch out their classical 35mm projectors with new HD digital equipment, which doesn't come cheap at all. It's very expensive, and it's been putting some of the small cinema businesses out of business.
Sure.
Yeah.
The moms and pops, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The theater is owned by a lovely couple named Wayne and Cindy, and they were able to get a loan to get the digital equipment, but it's put them in quite a damper financially. So I put together a variety show that's a fundraiser to help raise money to save the Tampa Picture Show.
Awesome.
Very cool.
You just touched my heart, buddy.
Good.
That's great. No, I've been to the Tampa Picture Show, and I've seen stage plays and bands, and I've been there for big parties.
Yeah.
And and again, we're talking about supporting our local community.
They've been great with some of our local independent films because we've had
Yes.
screenings there, and
Yeah.
so they'll open it up, and we'll have our screenings of our short films that we've done, and they're great. They really are.
Yeah,
So I
well,
hope
that's
people
not
go
going to
out and
happen.
support it.
That's not going to happen at the mall.
Yep.
You know, they're not going to, they're not going to open their doors. And what's really cool about it too is, like you said, it's a dinner theater. So you can go in and have a beverage. They have some great food there.
A bar.
Yeah, there's a full bar, and there's a real
bar.
nice there's a real nice lounge.
Yes,
As a matter of
there
fact, we've had a meeting there once.
Take Two
for our
Lounge.
film society. Yeah, the Take Two Lounge.
Yep.
Yeah. This is take one, so we've got to get it right because
Yes,
we're a live show.
take one.
So yeah. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing this. The Tampa Picture Show. It's been around about 30 years.
Over 30 years, yes.
Over 30 years, and since they took that big loan out, now they've got to pay for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
now they got to pay for it, and that's the thing. After the new year, all films switched to the digital
Format, sure.
format.
Yeah.
So it was either go dark or continue going,
Yeah.
which that's their passion. It's their life is that theater. And like that's the beauty of it is they play feature films, they play classic films, they have shows that go on there, stage performances on an actual stage.
Sure.
They have a shadow cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show that plays there. They have burlesque. It's everything. It's almost like everything in this one thing. Yeah,
Well,
burlesque.
we're going to talk a little bit more, but I know that you have you did a commercial for that,
I did.
right?
I did a promo for them. Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to play in just a little while, but wow, that's quite a variety of entertainment.
Yes, Wayne,
You know.
like I started there with the shadow cast of Cheap Little Punks for the Rocky Horror
Really?
Picture Show, and Wayne and Cindy have always opened the door to me for help. They helped me with my film with the Action Film Challenge. They've helped me with stage performances, doing video pre-shows and stage performances there as well. And with this variety show, it's to help them at the same time. It's to get wonderful talent to perform on a stage in front of an audience. And one of the performances is I'm going to be roasted at this performance. I'm sacrificing myself to try and save this theater. I will not let it go out of business. So.
Well, let's see. You're a comedic writer. You're writing comedy.
Am I coming to the party? Because I'll
Oh
roast the hell out of you, bro.
Yeah.
All
It's a
right.
community fundraiser. So maybe you and I could sit down and do a
hash
little
it out.
research on this guy and really roast him good. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. You know, they used to do roasts all the time. Remember Rowan and Martin and things like that. You know, for young people, you don't remember that. But it's just funny. I was watching the Beatles special the other night, and I think someone asked if they remembered the Ed Sullivan. If they remembered Ed Sullivan, and it was one of the performers, and he said no, just like that, no.
No.
But but I didn't grow up with Barney either.
Yeah.
You know, Barney the purple dinosaur.
Yep.
Somebody showed that to me one day. I said, I didn't know. I missed that generation. I think must have been the '70s. Anyway, yeah. So if we're ready with that.
When is
Stretch,
the fundraiser?
stretch,
It's
stretch.
Saturday?
We're talking
Yes.
about Play-Doh. We're talking about taffy.
Spaghetti. The variety show, it's called An Extraordinary Night at the Tampa Picture Show. It's this Saturday at 10 o'clock. And
This
it's
Saturday, which is
this Saturday.
February
the 15th.
The 15th.
Yes, at 10 p.m. Tickets are $10, and there'll be stand-up comedies. There'll be singing performances, dance numbers by the Hellcats Burlesque, as well as some skits from another team called Crazy Happy Stance. I might be saying that wrong. I'm sorry. They shadowcast Beetlejuice and Clue.
Wow.
And Clue and Beetlejuice, yes. And they'll be doing some skits from that. Cheap Little Punks for the Rocky Horror Picture Show are going to be doing some skits as well as my roast. And there will be someone breathing fire there, too.
Wow, that'll work. But that's quite a variety of entertainment. And while that's happening, you can get a beverage, you can get iced tea, you can have something to eat. So don't eat before you go. Bring an appetite. And
If you miss Valentine's Day, you can go to this as redemption. And
this starts at 10 p.m.?
10 p.m.
Oh, that's great. So, and there'll be plenty of cab service. We'll make sure the cabs are waiting outside for you, okay? Or bring a designated driver because it's a family-friendly place. Don't get me wrong, but they do serve alcohol, and there's a real nice lounge there as well. So it's a great place to take a date.
Oh, real quick. The show is 18 and up, though. And you have to be 21, of course, or older to have drinks.
Sure.
Better make that statement.
Okay, so let's go ahead and introduce this once again, just briefly. Is it commercial? Is it short? How do you consider that? for the Tampa Picture Show. Oh, by the way, that's one of the ones I chose because we're going to be promoting that tonight.
Yes.
So it's the one with you on stage with the burlesque girls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
introduce the clip.
Yeah.
It's a short promotional clip. It's been posted on YouTube and Facebook to help promote the show out there for everyone to come out and not only see great entertainment but help raise money to save the Tampa Picture Show.
Excellent. Let's see that now.
Please, can you tell us a story?
Girls, I don't know.
Pretty, please.
You got to do better than that.
Pretty, please.
All right. I don't know which story to read, though. There's so many stories to tell. This one. This is a good story here. You ready? Once upon a time, there was a lovely couple who opened up a wonderful dinner theater called the Tampa Picture Show. This theater not only played amazing feature films, but also classic films and showcased a lot of stage performances as well. The cinema had a great running for 32 years.
Now, I bring you with all my power, Dr. Hollywood.
So one day, an evil wizard from Hollywood summoned for all classic 35mm film projectors to be replaced with HD digital projectors. This plot was a financial burden to the Tampa Picture Show and put the theater in danger of being shut down for good.
No, I insist that you switch your projectors over to digital. Digital, Wayne, yes. Digital, I command it. You will switch your projector theater into digital, for Hollywood commands this Wayne Valenti and his Tampa Picture Show. I spit all over it. Dr. Hollywood will insist that you switch over to all digital, or you will die. A movie reel. How 70s of you, Wayne. Now that I've destroyed your so-called projector, I will bring you into a new digital age. But not for free, because I'm evil.
The lovely couple was in fear of losing their magical cinema to the evil wizard of Hollywood.
I will destroy the Tampa Picture Show.
Well, I'm not gonna let that happen. Cash Cashman and I are teaming up together to help raise money to save the Tampa Picture Show, hosted by yours truly and Natalie Grist. We'll be putting on live stage performances, including the Hellcats Burlesque, as well as some video shorts that you don't want to miss. You can earn a chance to win a prize, like a movie poster, some 35mm film reels, tickets, and some great discounts here at the Tampa Picture Show. Oh, and did I also mention that there's going to be a roast for yours truly? Yep, that's right. I am going to have my friends come and talk crap about me in front of an audience. Mark your calendars, kids. February 15th at 10 p.m. It's a show you don't want to miss.
Come join us for some amazing talent.
Grab a drink.
And some damn good food. And win classic film memorabilia.
So come join us for an extraordinary night at the Tampa Picture Show on February 15th. We can all help to save the theater from going dark. You, me, us!
Loved it, man. That was a
Thank
real
you.
nice job. And for all you folks out there, you know, this is a very good example of independent film actually doing something great for our community. It was well put together, it was well written, it was well executed. The editing and the effects were fantastic. and the host, Mike Marin, did a fantastic job. He had to have those beautiful women hanging all over him, but but you persevered.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
persevered.
I'm willing to take a bullet to try and save the theater.
Yeah. So hopefully,
risks.
now I'm going to be there. I'll be there, and hopefully our friends will join us as well. Mike will definitely be there, and so please join us at the Tampa Picture Show on Saturday at 10 p.m. You know, we try to have a lot of fun here at behind the scenes. Again, my name's Al Alvarez. I'm your host, and we try to bring in some great community partners, and hopefully you're learning a little something as I am. So again, we're at talkwad.com every Thursday at 7 p.m. If you'd like to catch one of our previous shows, and we usually have a musical guest as well, you can just go to talkwad.com, scroll down to the behind the scenes tabs, and click on one, and you'll be able to see one of our archived shows. So let's see. What's next, Ron?
On the agenda?
What's next on the horizons?
I think it's supposed to be you, isn't it? Playing your song?
Oh, no. That's going to be in a couple of minutes. You know,
the Oscars are coming up.
Well, I had a musical guest, and for some reason they could not make it this evening. Since I'm also a musician and a songwriter, you're stuck with me, playing my guitar and singing you a song. But it is an original song, so we'll be doing that in just a little bit. Do you play any instruments?
I do not. I attempted the piano when I was younger, but I was a tap dancer. So that's...
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And my 18-year-old daughter still is a tap dancer, and she teaches tap, and so that's
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like playing the accordion today. You know, yeah. I mean, it really is. You know, I mean, well, it's just it's almost like a lost art. You know, but that's fantastic, and hopefully, it's like a lot of things in our society. It's like bell bottoms are coming back in. You know, or flared pants, right. You know. So, no, but and that's kind of a poor example of a form of art. But, you know, horror movies, vampires, you know, we hadn't seen things like that in a long time. Zombies. You know. Yeah, I remember, I'm going to give my age away again, but seeing these in black and white. You know, I remember seeing Lon Chaney as the Wolfman, and Bela Lugosi as Dracula. That's how far back I go, you know. So, but I mean, we would be sitting there, and you know, just in front of the TV, my brother and my sisters, you know, and we'd just be entranced with it. And I'm sure that a lot of folks out there, you know, watching us tonight are, you know, love the Twilight series and look for the independent artists, especially after the zombie. Competition.
The Zombie Film Challenge,
yeah,
yes.
Zombie Film Challenge. There's going to be international films. You know, I wanted to mention also, it's not just the independent filmmakers that we are drawing. It's just like when you have a premiere for one of your films, like at the Tampa Theater. MovieCo is also pretty good at that, and Ybor, and the one in St. Pete. You know, they have enough theaters to where if you're having a premiere, you can go and talk with them and work something out and have a premiere for a film. But you know, I talk to people while I'm there. I do a lot of networking, hand out a lot of business cards, and I find that about half the folks that are there are supporting their friends who are in the film.
Yeah.
You know, so if Ron wrote the script, you know, or the screenplay, then everyone that he'd be talking to be there to support him and see what he's up to. This, you know, and you also, you know, with special effects or in post or directing or producing, you know, and maybe Mike Marin, you know, was the superhero in a film, or maybe even a vampire or a lichen. Yeah.
A lichen.
Oh man. I'd like to be a lichen. That'd be pretty cool.
It would be.
Yeah.
Transformation would be cool too.
Yeah, it'd be cool. In an alternate universe, you know.
Yeah.
So that's probably happening right now. So I know that Tammy, we have this poster on the wall, "Secrets of a Medicine Man." Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was a documentary that I edited for my mother, who produced it, and this project was really amazing to work on because Billy Rainwater Barnes, who was featured, makes teas for people who are suffering from, any ailment, but we featured people that had stage 4 cancer at one point.
Wow.
And the teas that he made for them, we could not say cure, but we would have to say make them feel better.
Soothing effect.
Because, of course, he's not a doctor or doesn't have a medical license, but these teas put these patients in full remission, and
wow.
So we wanted to feature that, and so that's a documentary that we did in 2007.
Right. Okay.
And,
Cool. So it's Billy Rainwater Barnes.
Yes.
So where does he? What part of the country is he from?
He's in Brooksville. He's a Seminole Indian chief, and at first, when the Seminole tribe found out that we were going to do this production, they banished him from the tribe because they thought that he was going to divulge the recipes and the secrets. But he did not do that. It was just about the process. But all of it, unfortunately, is in his head, and I hope that he is teaching someone and passing on those recipes, because they're all made individual for people, and it was quite fascinating, because we even talked to an oncologist who will recommend his patients get the tea, because he's like, I don't know what's in it, but if she didn't have that, she would have died,
Right.
I mean, and it's just not saying Western medicine's bad, but the two can live in symbiosis. So.
And a lot of medicines that we have today are have organic compounds in them, So, it's only in the last 100 years that some of the major diseases in our civilization have been overcome. Unfortunately, cancer's still cancer, and a lot of other diseases have yet to be cured. But typhoid, tuberculosis, pretty much. Polio. They're just some real bad diseases that, and I've seen some films that document this as well. There's a lot of history in films. There's a lot to be learned. There's a lot of information there. There's also, and there's a lot of living here in Florida. Tammy's just talking about the Seminole Indians, and I know this is the World Wide Web, so we have people in China and Germany and Poland watching us right now, okay? So if you don't know, the Seminole Indians are indigenous to this part of the country, especially Florida, and they're very, their history goes back, prior to, God, who knows, And as a matter of fact, the first city is right here, the first colonized city is right here in Florida on the East Coast. It's called St. Augustine's.
You know that they're not indigenous to this area.
Oh, they're not?
After the Trail of Tears, they were moved from California, and they transported our Indians from here to California.
Okay, so there's a story there.
The more you know.
That's right.
Like when Theodore Roosevelt was riding with his Rough Riders up near Horseshoe Beach area, they actually had a major standoff, and Chief Billy Bowlegs went in to fight them, and nobody returned. I actually wrote a horror movie based on that location about that event.
Oh, very
I told you, smartest guy I know.
I'm not smart. It just happened to,
You came across the story.
Yeah, I wanted to get my 2 cents in.
There you go. Well, okay, so we've talked about Tampa Picture Show and your roast, and we got to see your films. Now, I know that, Tammy, you have something that you wanted to share with us.
Yeah, I am working with Ian Stevens and 1-2 Punch Productions, and we are putting on the second annual Florida Film Industry Expo.
That's right.
It was very successful. Last year was our first year, and I think some people may have stayed on the sidelines just to see what it was about and regretted that they didn't go. But
I was there.
You were there, and. So this year it is going to be on August 2nd and 3rd at the Doubletree by Hilton in the West Shore area. And we already have some very great panelists that are coming. We have Jenny O'Hara, who's the Vice President of the Screen Actors Guild is coming, so that's really she's going to bring some very valuable information to our local actors, and we're going to have, a lot of tracks from not just the, in front of the camera acting side of things, but we're going to have some tracks for, just because of my personal, being behind the scenes. We're going to have a lot of behind the scenes tracks as well, from a production standpoint, from directing, editing, lighting, those sorts of things. And so we're the committee's working diligently to get all our panelists. But if you go to FFIE or FFIExpo.com, you can get the information, and we're always updating as we book guests. You can see who our guests are that are already committed to coming, and then as we book more guests, you can see who's going to join us. And right now we have early bird ticket price. If you get your ticket before February 28th, it's only $99, and that's for both days, which is just a bargain.
And there are various panels and seminars. And,
there's from the morning till the evening, there's 1 hour tracks all day. We'll have booths with information from the industry, and then also if you want to join us for the red carpet dinner that night, then and that's an extra ticket, but that's a blast. And so I highly encourage everyone to go, and the information you learn is really invaluable.
Yeah, and I totally endorse this. I was there last year, and I'll tell you, again, networking is one of the most important things that you can do as any type of an artist, especially a filmmaker. When you've got a room or 2 or 3 halls full of industry experts that are sharing their knowledge with you, what more can you ask? We all make contacts. Some of our contacts are personal and may last forever.
One of the actresses that happened to come to the expo, we were talking, and I happened a few weeks later, I got a client that I'm like, she would be perfect, and I cast her in my commercial. Yeah. So, you never know. It really is a great opportunity.
And our good friend Matt Ayon is part of the 1-2 Punch production too, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, yes. Matt, so we're sending our goods out to you, buddy. Keep doing a good job. And Ian's a great guy and a community partner. Let's go ahead, and you have another clip that we're going to watch, and then I think we're going to wrap this up with a song. And don't forget, there are some great shows right here at talkwad.com. So just go look at the archives, explore some of the shows. You can find out what the schedules are. Watch us live, watch the other shows live, or just watch the archives. But support your community stations here at talkwad.com, okay? Chris, are we queued up for that one video? Let's go ahead and roll that in a 3, 2, 1, action.
All across America, managers are busy at work. They have a lot on their plate to get ready for the doors to open. But something is lurking, and it could halt productivity in its tracks. And you never know when it's going to strike.
The alcohol delivery man's here, and he needs a check.
But there's a solution, a way to handle your alcohol payments that will save you time and money, while also speeding up your delivery. And most importantly, you can stop writing checks for beer, wine, and spirits. His code name? FinTech. FinTech, the leader in processing regular...
Serve is one of those agencies that just helps us to run and to provide things at our school sites that we wouldn't normally be able to do. the training that they do for volunteers that come into our school just makes everything run more smoothly. The involvement that they have with our students and the focus that they put on quality training for people who are going to be coming in and working with young people.
That was basically, I showed those clips because that's a little bit of what I do from an industrial side for corporations when they need a video done. And that we did a clever video for FinTech where we created a superhero. And then, of course, that nonprofit Serve, you know, they have an annual breakfast fundraiser, and we did a video to showcase, you know, what Serve's about. So, I mean, that's a neat thing about production is you can, you know, do crazy, you know, stuff and real nice stuff.
You can use your imagination.
Yes. And now we're going to turn it over to Al is going to serenade us.
Yes, I'm your musical guest this evening, and I'd like to thank our panelists this afternoon, Mr. Ron Borders, Miss Tammy Peralta, and Mr. Mike Marin. Please don't forget about the fundraiser to Tampa Picture Show this Saturday at 10 p.m. This is a song I wrote with making a video in mind. I really wanted to write something, and I wanted it to be commercial, and I like country music. So, and I thought, I'm not going to write a love song. So the name of this song is In Love Again Tonight. Neon lights are flashing at this honky-tonk. Sawdust lightly sprinkled on the floor. High-heel boots and minis at this honky-tonk to step in their way to the door. From the bands, and I can see the party start to grow. Looking up, I'm watching faces in the crowd. Then I see her long skirts flowing soft and low. Suddenly my heart beats much too loud, and I watch her as she dances round that racetrack floor. As I stumble through a melody so right, then I watch her with an escort out that exit door. Guess I'll have to fall in love, have to fall in love, have to fall in love again tonight. Just last week I fell in love a dozen times. Every girl who smiled won my heart. Stumbling through my lyrics just don't seem to rhyme. Guess I'll have to fall in love again tonight. And I watch her as she dances across that racetrack floor. As I stumble through a melody so right, then I watch her with an escort out that exit door. Guess I'll have to fall in love, have to fall in love, have to fall in love again tonight. Guess I'll have to fall in love, have to fall in love, have to fall in love again tonight. Thank you for watching. My name's Al Alvarez, and this is Behind the Scenes. We'll see you next week, 7 o'clock, Thursday, and just keep on making films. Good night. Yeah?